a banana with dick. Ooh, ooh, she a banana with dick. Yeah. Ooh. She a banana with dick. Aye, she a banana with dick. Ooh, I'm out of boots in the sheet. Aye, my niggas full of a bleach. Aye, rolling, I'ma reach. Aye, yeah, Julie from China, my diamond be singing 50 K, I'm a beach. Aye, she a banana with dick. Aye, she a banana with dick. Aye, I'm out of boots in the sheet. Aye, my niggas full of a bleach. Aye, rolling, I'ma reach. Aye, yeah, Julie from China, my diamond be singing 50 K, I'm a beach. Ooh, she a banana with dick. Ooh, she a banana with dick. Niggas been talking the opposite.
What's up, y'all? What's goody? 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 What's cool, my nigga? It's like, nah, I don't know what the fuck that came from. But anyway, what's good, y'all? It's your girl Zeze back with another motherfucking vid. Y'all already know what to do. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video, turn on the notification bell. All that shit. If you're new here, motherfucker, subscribe anyways, bitch, because you're gonna want to see more. I promise you that. So today's video will be about toxic femininity. Okay, I thought I was about to say masculinity, but I didn't. I said femininity. You know what I'm saying? And that's because I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, you know, everybody talking about this bullshit ass toxic masculinity. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a such thing as toxic masculinity, wouldn't it make sense to be a counterpart to that? Or should I say the counter side to that, it will be a such thing as toxic femininity. And I tweeted that. Whatever. And I didn't really get no response back on Twitter. Only this fuck ass feminist page responded to me and was like, yes, of course, there's a such thing as, there's a counterpart to toxic masculinity. It's called internalized misogyny. So I googled it, and bitch, you're not fucking wrong. I mean, not you're not fucking wrong. You are fucking wrong, should I say? It's not no motherfucking call, no goddamn internalized misogyny, bitch. That's not what the fuck it is. I guess that could be a part of it, toxic femininity, but bitch, that's not what the fuck it is. It's just called toxic femininity. That's exactly what the fuck it is. It's literally same shit. It's a concept used. It's a concept used to refer to masculine and feminine norms that are not necessarily like helpful towards society. Like it's like harmful, should I say, towards society. You know what I'm saying? That's what the fuck they say, at least. And so I think toxic masculinity is pretty much easier to point out because, like I said, that shit is fucking plastered every fucking where. You know what I'm saying? Especially towards black men, which is why I don't really fuck with the concept of it. But yeah, it's really plastered fucking everywhere right now, from Me Too to other feminists to fucking even Black Lives Matter motherfuckers just saying shit like that, and this whole rape culture, people promoting that, you know what I'm saying? So, toxic masculinity has like been fucking everywhere. Everybody's been talking about this shit, but nobody, especially feminists, has been talking about toxic femininity, you know what I'm saying? And I think because it's just easier to point out, like toxic masculinity, because you know toxic masculinity behaviors. Some behaviors is kind of like like violence, physical violence. You know, like creepness, like being a fucking creep, being like overly sexual, raping women and shit like that. Like all of that is like a part of toxic masculinity and shit like that. So it's easier to point out because it's more so physical. You know what I'm saying, with men. But I think another reason why people don't fucking talk about it, especially feminists, is because they don't like to point the finger back at women. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of feminists just love to say it's all men's fault. If men change this, we would have this. Oh, yeah, I forgot to say, I got this whole fucking new bed in the background. My bad. We just have to say that. It still look nice, right? Even though the bed not done, still look nice. Anyways, but, they just like to say, yeah, it's you guys' fault, and you guys changed this, then we wouldn't be like this. If this patriarchy fucking society wasn't like this, then y'all wouldn't be, then women wouldn't react like this. Like, all this fucking bullshit, you know what I'm saying? They just love to fucking point the finger and not, you know what I'm saying, not take accountability for themselves, should I say. And so, yeah, you don't hear a lot of feminists talking about this. And another thing I noticed is that even when I started to research toxic femininity, I didn't see no black people talking about this shit. Like, all the shit that I learned from it, I got from fucking white people. Like, it was no fucking black, and most of them was women, should I say, you know what I'm saying? Oh, white women, should I say. But there wasn't a lot of black people, not a lot, there were none. You know what I'm saying? Especially even my, like, favorite black YouTubers that I like to watch, you know what I'm saying, that talk about shit like this. I didn't see any fucking videos like that ass. That shit was crazy as fuck. So I don't know, maybe I'm the first. I don't know, maybe it just went out there and just didn't find it. I didn't see no fucking black people talking about this shit. Shit was crazy. And I seen a couple white dudes talking about it. But that shit was like none, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to go ahead and put my input on it for sure. Yeah, toxic femininity, it's one of the reasons it's hard to spot is because one, like I said, no one talks about it, but also because it's just, it's not physical, you know what I'm saying? Like, most of the time, like, toxic femininity is more so, passive aggressive, should I say? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, let me just give some examples to be more clear, should I say, to make it easier for y'all to understand. So, like, one way of toxic femininity could be like bitchy bosses, you know what I'm saying? Like, I read in a study or some shit like that. I was reading some article or like watching a video. I can't fucking remember. I was doing a lot, you know what I'm saying? But they were saying that most of the times when you have like harsh bosses, when you have bosses you don't like, it's women, you know what I'm saying? So think of like people like Sandra Bullock inside that fucking movie she was in, I forgot, when she had a married assistant or some shit like that. That shit, I think it's called The Proposal or some shit like that. But that shit, movie like the joint with Taraji P. Henson with What Men Want, you know what I'm saying? That joint, the joint with the new movie coming out called Little with Regina Hall, how nobody fucking likes her, she's a bitch, she's yelling at everybody, you know what I'm saying? The white lady in Devil Wears Prada, everybody kind of feared her. Like, that's toxic femininity, you know what I'm saying? Those type of roles, those type of those type of bosses. And come to think of it, I've never really had any black bosses before, but I did have one black boss. I actually had two, and they was at the same job. One of them was like the GM, and the other one was like a assistant manager. The GM was cool as fuck, you know what I'm saying? But the assistant manager, she was young, she was a hating ass bitch. She was looking for any reason to get rid of me. So, bitch, I ended up quitting. Fuck that bitch, you know what I'm saying? But she was a hating ass bitch, though, dead ass. So, I can definitely understand that, though. And even women, outside of that, just fucking white women. I've had some really fuck ass white woman bosses, or not even just white women bosses, like white women teachers, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think any and everybody could say that they had a fuck ass white woman teacher, black or white, or whatever fucking race you are, because bitch, most fucking teachers are white women, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how that demographic has changed, but I know for a long time, it was fucking white women that was like majority of teachers, you know what I'm saying? So, it's not impossible. I mean, it doesn't sound too far-fetched for you to say that you've had a bad white teacher. You know what I'm saying? A bad woman teacher, more specifically white woman. Also, you have like women who are like overly sexually aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And I know feminists love this kind of like play both sides on that. You have feminists that's like, oh, well, women don't have any power because it's like a patriarchal society, and you know what I'm saying? So we don't really have any fucking power. You know what I'm saying? Not even sexually. But then you on the other side of that, you have like people like slut walk. You know what I'm saying? Who supports the slut walk and shit like that. Like, well, your pussy is power and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of ride the fucking fence with that. Feminists do. But what I think is, and what's kind of fucking truthful, is women do hold power sexually. Like, that's just the fucking truth, especially if you're in your prime, like you're in your 20s, you know what I'm saying? You look good, you look as close as to whatever society you're in, whatever standard of beauty of society that you're in. If you look closer to that, for America, it's Eurocentric, you know what I'm saying? For most places, it's fucking Eurocentric, you know what I'm saying? But if you're closer to that, and you're in your prime, your 20s, you have a nice body, all this other shit, like, bitch, you have a lot of sexual power. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of a fucking privilege, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have a lot of sexual power, especially if you know what I'm saying, you display that. If you're a very sexualized person, you know what I'm saying? You hold a lot of fucking power. So these are people, even like city girls or some shit like that. If the girls that promote kind of like a gold digging concept, where it's like, use your pussy to get a Chanel bag, don't fuck him if he ain't got no money, don't like all this type of shit, all those type of ideas are technically toxic femininity. Like, that's a part of toxic femininity as well. Which even plays more into the idea of passive aggressiveness. You look at movies like Mean Girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, Regina, she's a perfect fucking example of what you would call of what you would display as toxic femininity. Like, she's literally the fucking epitome of toxic femininity, you know what I'm saying? So if you even have a clue, you don't have no clue what the fuck it is, look at that guy in that movie if you haven't seen it before, and that's exactly what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's dead ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? She's fucking two-faced as hell. She's motherfucking, she's manipulative. She's over-sexual. She uses her sexuality to get what she wants as well. is she's like a passive bitch, kinda, you know what I'm saying? Like how she told the girl in the hallway, oh yeah, well your skirt is cute, and when she walked away, she was like, that is the ugliest fucking skirt I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That fake ass bitchy, controlling, like that type of shit is really like, that's really the epitome of fucking, you know, of fucking toxic femininity. Like that's really like she's really a perfect example of toxic femininity. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shit like that. School, the girls in school that act like her, toxic feminists. You know, so toxic is a perfect example of toxic femininity. But all in all, I do think toxic femininity is like, and even toxic masculinity, I think both of them honestly are equally like toxic, should I say. I don't think toxic is even a good word for it, but since I'm playing off the fucking word and shit like that, I'm gonna just use it. I think they're equally toxic, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't like the fact that everybody is pointing out toxic masculinity, but don't nobody will talk about motherfucking toxic femininity like it's not the same thing. Or if we get rid of toxic masculinity, there wouldn't be any toxic femininity because it would still stand. You know what I'm saying? It's not like one is just going to vanish because of the other. That's not the fucking case. And I think to a certain extent that both of them kind of bring a balance to each other, should I say. Even just looking at them individually, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the behaviors in which we're talking about are not always a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, toxic masculinity, for example. If you take toxic masculinity and you break it down to physical violence, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a part of toxic masculinity. Okay, well, physical violence is not always a fucking bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you take your husband, for example. Like, you wouldn't want him to be violent towards you. You know what I'm saying? You want him to be fucking sweet and fucking, you know what I'm saying, caring and gentle towards you, right? But then on the other side of that, you want him to be able to tap into violence, to tap into, you know what I'm saying, aggressiveness, into kind of rage in case a motherfucker try to mess with you. You know what I'm saying? To be protective of you. If a motherfucker coming at you with rage and violence and aggressiveness, you gonna want your husband or boyfriend, whatever the fuck, or brother, even father, you know what I'm saying, to be able to tap into that so he can protect you. He can't protect you being gentle and being compassionate and being, you know what I'm saying, sympathetic. He can't protect you like that if a motherfucker trying to stab you in the face. Like, nigga, no. You need to be able to get a knife and motherfucker go sword for sword with that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to tap into that. So it's not always a bad thing. And you know what? I seen a video in this girl talking about this, whatever, and she brought up this chart. I'm gonna try to insert it. But she brought up this chart, and it basically was a chart of all of the negative and positive things about femininity and masculinity. She was making good points of this because she was saying, like, you can't really have one without the other. Just like you have a boss, right? Your husband is a boss, right? So as a boss, you want him to be the leader. You want him to be an authoritative figure. You know what I'm saying? You want him to be kind of assertive. You know what I'm saying? But on the other side of that, which is the negative side, you would say, the aggressiveness, you want him to be able to tap into that as well. You know what I'm saying? But they kind of go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, being aggressive, being assertive it's like being a lesser form of being aggressive. And then you can take that same concept and use it for women. So women are usually more social. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a good aspect of being a woman. You know what I'm saying? You want us to be, of course, women, we like to talk a lot, we like to make friends, we're more social butterflies than men are. But on the other side of that, we're usually more passive. So that's when you got the gossiping and the backstabbing and the two-facedness, you know what I'm saying? The shit I was talking about with Regina Hall, you know what I'm saying? Because even though she was kind of a social butterfly, everybody fucking knew her, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, she was very passive in that, you know what I'm saying? Very, very passive and being a bitch. She could be very blatant. She got more blatantness towards the end of being a bitch. But, throughout the movie, most of the movie, she was being a very passive bitch. You can even take being verbally skilled. Women are usually more verbally skilled. That was another thing on the chart. Where we can articulate ourselves a little bit better, usually, than men, should I say. And on the other side of that, you got that, we be fucking complaining, you know what I'm saying? Niggas hate that we be bitching a lot, should I say. We be fucking nagging, you know what I'm saying? But that's on the other, that's like a lesser side of that. Being verbally skilled and being able to articulate yourself, that's on a lesser scale of complaining. You know what I'm saying? It's on the same scale, but it's just on two different ends. You know what I'm saying? So it's really not that that's what I'm saying. It's really not that it's toxic. It's really just that it's a different form of it. Like a lot of times, even when you say like, going back to men, when you talk about protection, you know what I'm saying? You want a man that can protect you and shit like that. Cool, you know what I'm saying? But you do have men who use their ego, who just like to get violent for dumbass fucking reasons. You know what I'm saying? For a look. A man looks at you or some shit like that. Then the nigga want to beat his ass just because he fucking looked at you. Now, because now you're getting to overprotection. You know what I'm saying? Now you're getting to overly being aggressive. You're getting into violence for no fucking reason because all he did was look at the bride. You know what I'm saying? That's just your ego telling you you need to beat his ass because he looked at your woman. Not because he may not even be looking at her in a sexualized way. He could have just fucking looked at her. You know what I'm saying? Smiled at her or some shit like that. Thought she was pretty, didn't realize that was your girl because she was standing 3 feet away from her, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But your ego told you, you need to go over there and whoop that nigga ass because, bitch, he trying to take your bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you can't, but that's ego. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I really think that ego steps in that. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with women and gossiping and shit like that. Like, we love to talk, we love to make friends and shit like that. But on the other hand of that, your ego tells you, like, look, she cool or whatever, but my ego is telling me that she thinks she better than me. You know what I'm saying? So now I gotta go talk to my friend about, this bitch thinks she better than me. Her clothes ain't even that cute. Her nigga ain't even that cute. She did this, she did that. She really a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just your fucking ego. You know what I'm saying? That's really what the fuck it stems down to. You know what I'm saying? So I think putting a label on it as toxic masculinity or toxic femininity is not really a good fit for the behaviors. I think it's just really just toxic fucking egos. You know what I'm saying? It's just toxic behaviors. It's not really toxic masculinity or femininity. It's just toxic fucking behaviors that everyone fucking has. Not really just one fucking set of things that one gender fucking has that you just gonna slap on a fucking label. You know what I'm saying? And then calling it toxic, like I said, poisonous, damn near deadly. You know what I'm saying? That's really what the fuck you getting at. It's like, I think that's just a little fucking much. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you can't really have one without the other because everyone fucking has egos. Unless we went into like literally an egoless society and then none of that shit would happen. But I mean, come on. We live in, especially in fucking America. Like, come on, my nigga. Like, realistically, that's just not gonna fucking happen. So you can't really have in this society one without the fucking other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of fucking damn near impossible without fucking, you know what I'm saying, with all these fucking egos floating around because everybody has one. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I don't really think calling it toxic masculinity and femininity is the perfect word for it or anything like that. I just think it's bad behaviors on both parts. Like, to me, if you want to call some shit toxic, like, I think feminism is fucking toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You got all these fucking feminists talking about something, oh yeah, men this, men that, they oppress us and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, going in about all this dumb shit. But I really think feminism is fucking toxic. You know what I'm saying? Feminism practices, a lot of feminists practice toxic fucking femininity. You know what I'm saying? What they call toxic femininity. You know what I'm saying? And then covered up. Matter of fact, I seen a feminist on some show. I forgot. This Whiteboy. I think he like on CNN or some shit like that. And they were like debating about toxic masculinity. He brought up toxic femininity. He was like, well, yeah, what about toxic femininity? And she was like, well, I don't really think that there's not really a such thing as that, or there's no definition for that. Like, bitch, but you a feminist, and you up here talking about toxic masculinity. I think you would know what the fuck toxic femininity is, wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying? But like I said, they don't really like to take the blame for that type of shit. They don't really like to take accountability. You know what? That leads me into not just feminists, but women or men in general who like to point the finger to each other like toxic femininity or toxic masculinity. They love to indulge in this thing called victim culture. And I don't fuck with victim culture because it creates like a hierarchy of fucking victimhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's levels to fucking victimhood. You know what I'm saying? And then it creates this narrative of like the little boy who cried wolf. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's a fucking victim. It's like, bitch, okay, you a victim too, okay, just like the last bitch. You know what I'm saying? It lessens the harshness of being a victim when everybody is finding a fucking reason to be a victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially white women. Like, y'all motherfuckers really got damn near nothing to fucking complain about, talking about some goddamn victims and being oppressed. Like, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I tell black women especially, do not be joining this fuck ass feminine movement, because it's not for us. Yeah, so it creates this concept of everyone being a fucking victim, but nobody taking accountability for what the fuck they doing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I think one kind of breeds the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, toxic femininity kind of breeds toxic masculinity, and vice versa. So just saying you want to point the finger and get rid of one, it doesn't do anything for the other. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to get rid of the other. You have to get rid of both. You have to point the finger at both, and both have to change. You know what I'm saying? Have to fucking change in order for both of them to be fucking eradicated. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, overall, I just don't really fuck with toxic femininity. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with the whole idea of toxic femininity or toxic masculinity. I don't think it's helpful, especially because, like I said, toxic masculinity is mostly geared towards fucking black men, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try to go when they actually do start promoting toxic femininity, which, I mean, they probably will soon. Sooner or later, but it's probably going to be geared towards black women. You know what I'm saying? At that point, just like because they try to emasculate our man, and they try to fucking make women more manlier than need be. You know what I'm saying? Not even need be, just fucking manlier. You know what I'm saying? Our women. So yeah, I don't fuck with it. I just don't fuck with it with either concepts. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, at the end of the day, it comes down to egos. It comes down to behaviors, not just fucking genders. You know what I'm saying? Not no fucking gender war like they trying to fucking start. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? So yep, that's just how I feel about it. I'm not fucking with no damn toxic masculinity or toxic femininity. Fuck them both, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, let me know what you think in the motherfucking comments. Alright, do you think toxic masculinity is prevalent in society right now, and toxic femininity? Do you think both of these concepts are fucking bullshit? Do you think we do need to start promoting toxic femininity just as much as we do toxic masculinity? Y'all just let me know what y'all think in the motherfucking comments. Other than that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, give my video a thumbs up, share this bitch. Shit, I forgot what the fuck I just said, but yeah, all that, you know what I'm saying?
I be racing in that Audi, coming like Freddie and Jason. That's why I got that drippin' ain't basic. It's about to go down like a basement. I'm stopping your face in the pavement. Just cop a new chain like I'm slaving. I'm pulling that Rari on racing. I'm smoking that gas, got me Asian. I'm passing that pet like I'm Peyton. Smoking on hookah, I call him my shooter. He's not like a ruler, but fuck it, I got it. Need me a profit, my bitch from the tropics. You need it, I sell it, I'm sure that I got it. Wake up and smoke, my mama.